All right, you guys, we're going to try this again. Oh my God, I just recorded this whole video and boom. But this is Frankie Renee. Thank you so much for stopping by for another video on today. Today, I want to talk to you, the single mothers, on today to encourage you guys. The Lord dropped this in my spirit a couple of weeks ago, and He also reminded me of this on yesterday. The Lord just reminded me on how far I have come, because there were situations where I just started to doubt. I just started to say, Lord, am I doing enough for you? All these things. And I was like, you know what? Snap out of it. Look, you got a whole look. This is my book right here, y'all. You got this whole book right here, filled with things that how far you have come. And the Lord entrusted me to tell you guys a little snippet of my single mother journey and how my first faith moved. And so back in 2010, I graduated from grad school, and the Lord called me to an unfamiliar place, unknown territory. So I was in Alabama at that time, and I was like, Lord, when I finish grad school, I want to go to either Charlotte or Nashville. Those were my two top places that I wanted to go. And also, let me add, I forgot Florida was one of those too, because my good friend that I graduated with from grad school, she was also there. And I was like, man, I just want to be, what my friend said at the time. And so lo and behold, the Lord said, no, that is not the plan that I have for you. Now, granted, you guys, I had a child. As soon as I graduated grad school and hit that stage, honey, I ended up meeting me this guy. And let me tell you, pop goes to weasel. I ended up being pregnant with my son. And I was like, Lord, this just gonna stop everything. And the Lord automatically shut that thinking off of me quickly. He said, you are going to be somebody, and I have great things for you. God started speaking that into my life even when I was at the age where I didn't really understand. That was like around 24, 25. I'm 38. So I end up, so I was just applying for jobs during grad school. They encourage you to just apply for jobs. So I'm just applying for jobs where I desire. Okay. And also I just was applying for random jobs. Now, even though I was applying for random jobs, I end up, I was sitting down at the job that I was currently in. I was sitting down with coworkers, and I ended up getting a call from an 865 number. I remember this was like yesterday. I was like, why is this bill collector calling me? I don't understand. And so I was like, they gonna have to leave a voicemail, because I'm like, who I owe? I'm just graduating college. I ain't got no debt with student loan. So I ended up listen to the voicemail, and it was a little squeaky voice lady named Jane. And I was like, okay, this is about a job. So I call her back. I was like, hey, and so during our conversation, through that, and I asked her, I said, I'm going to be honest. I do not remember applying for this job. I was like, Lord, I don't remember applying for this job. I was telling her, I said, I don't remember applying for this job. She said, well, we so happen to get your resume. And I was like, you guys, I promise to this day, I do not know how they received my resume. I knew exactly what jobs I applied for. This particular city was Knoxville, Tennessee. I know for a fact I did not apply for any job in that area. The only thing I knew about Tennessee at that time was Nashville, Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, and Chattanooga. Okay, those were the three most frequent places that I knew and that I traveled in Tennessee. And so I was like, I don't know, but I was like, okay, so moving across ahead, I went up there for an interview. It took us about 3.5, 4 hours to get there. My parents rode with me. As I was driving on this journey with me and my son in the back seat, I'm up here talking to my son like he really knew. I said, do you see us here, son? Because y'all, when we was headed up to the place, it was wooded areas, baby. This was the country. Okay, I was like, Lord, I'm a city girl. I'm like, I want to be in the city. And so my dad had said something profound. He was like, just try it out. You never know what opportunities that you're going to receive here. And so, you know what? Fast forward more. I literally was meant to be there. That job paid me way below, all the way down below of what I thought I was worth. And I was like, Lord, how am I going to be a single mother in this new territory, okay, with a new child that I'm not getting any help from, not the state, nothing. I'm doing this on my own. Lord, how am I going to just afford to be up here? This salary is just, and then I was hearing all my other friends, they was getting like 40K salary. You guys, I'm not even ashamed to say it. That job paid me $28,000 to get up there. This was in 2011. Or was it 10? It was 2010, 2011. $28,000. And I'm looking like, I was when my coworkers would ask me how much, I'm like, girl, they paying me good, at the time. I can talk about it now. But y'all, they was paying me $28,000. 28,000. And let me tell you, when she gave me, she was like, I promise you're gonna get a promotion and soon, and she was like, you're gonna get a raise. Okay. No, she said she said you could be eligible for a promotion, and she said, but you will be getting a raise in the next 6 months or so. And I'm looking like, how much is this raise, y'all? I'm like, at the time, I was like, I got a son I gotta take care of. Like, the money ain't mathing. You guys, about 6 months, I end up getting my raise. 6 months later, they asked me to be a clinical director over a group home. You guys, I took over a role that was not even supposed to. This role was supposed to be for a more licensed clinician. I was just starting off, okay? I was in the process of getting my license, but I was not licensed yet. The Lord put that job in my lap, and let me tell you, that honestly what catapulted my career, because once they seen that on my resume, y'all, it was like jobs was going hand in hand. We got to do a part two, because I'm going to tell you guys, I have so many memories of living in Knoxville. This was my longest road city that I stayed, which was about 8.5 years with me and my son. Me and my son thrived so much in this city. This is where I met God. This is where I received my heavenly language. This is where I was able to just start my own groups through Habitat for Humanity. I'm telling you guys, if the Lord has called you to new territory, unfamiliar places, as a single mother, let me tell you, He's going to provide. You guys, I still to this day don't know how I survived off 28K. You guys, I was paying rent by myself. I was not receiving any help from my son's father at the time. I was literally soloing this thing out. When I first moved to that city, I literally stayed in a hotel room for about a couple of weeks. And I remember, you guys, I was eating Cheetos and turkey sandwiches for that whole 2 weeks, because I just didn't have the money. And I didn't have the money to move, but my parents was able to help me until I was able to get my first check. Then I was able to get into an apartment. It wasn't really the apartment that I desired, but I was like, okay, Lord, we're here for now. And each time that I moved in that city, the Lord just got me better and better. My pay grade went up just tremendously. And so the Lord took care of me and my son. But the most of all, the Lord, I rededicated my life back to God. I literally got saved again back in 2011. My heavenly language was poured out unto me. I just started to evangelize more. It just, my ministry started. Like, I just saw God just saying, you have a purpose in this life. God started sending destiny helpers to me. I'm still connected. Those are my sisters now. Like, we talk almost every day, just check on each other. If we don't check on each other every day, we're talking to each other at least once a week, and so I just want to encourage you, don't forfeit your calling because of what you see in the natural. Because in the back end, God is saying, I have everything prepared for you. All you have to do is walk through the door. And if I would have just been disobedient and been in my own will and just being out of the will of God, trying to go to Charlotte, trying to go to Ohio, Florida, and Nashville, I don't know if I would have seen the same promises. I'm not saying those promises would have been there, but it would have took longer to see the hand of God. It would have took longer to see my relationship build with God, because I probably would have been distracted with so much things. And that's another thing. The Lord, I abstained from sex when I was there. Okay. Now we're going to talk about it moving forward, because there is a part two. Okay. Where I got out of the will of God. But while I was there, God's hand was upon my life. Let me tell you, God completely changed my life around. And that's when I truly built my relationship with God. So I want to encourage you single mothers that don't forfeit your calling just because you have single in front of mother. Because at the end of the day, God is going to take care of you and your babies, your children. Stay tuned for part two. You don't want to miss it. All right. God bless you guys. If you do, please like and comment and subscribe if you're liking this kind of content. And I'll be back with another video soon. Thank you guys.